Your social media strategy is ruining your business. Your content is bland, it blends in, I can almost guarantee you that it's outdated. And in this video, I'm going to share how to attract an audience of people who already want to buy what you sell with a 3-part strategy that's going to help you stand out and get sales on social media, even if you're starting with low views or no audience. And by the way, my name is Maylea. I give entrepreneurs the blueprint to grow your audience and automate your sales so you can build a business that works for you 24/7 and you don't have to. And please tell me I am not the only one who feels like content creation is my full-time job. Like, you have this online business, maybe you're a coach or a course creator or a service provider, whatever. But when you look at your calendar and the tasks that are taking up all of your time, all of your mental energy, it's not serving your clients, it's creating content. Now, sometimes I feel like this is really unfair. Like, in order to be successful in business, we no longer have a choice but to also be successful in creating content. And we can whine about how much time it takes, and we can talk about how the algorithm hates us and how the platforms are greedy and they just want our money and how no one likes our stuff and how it feels like we're just these little islands shouting out our message into the void. Or we can suck it up and we can get good at creating content. Now, personally, I don't believe in wasting time on things that aren't going to serve me long term. So in this video, I'm going to help you with the second option and show you how to get good at creating content that actually brings in buyers for your business. Now, first, we have to talk about the way we think and speak about content in our business. Because if you are walking around and you're saying things like, I'm not good at posting content, or I don't like posting content, or I don't know what to post, you're not going to be in business for very long. The most successful entrepreneurs, they embrace the journey of content creation. And yeah, you're going to suck at it right now, but you can get better. And as you get better, you're also going to like it more. Now, I'm not here to say you're always going to feel like making content, because that's certainly not true. I go through ruts in my own content. I go through days or weeks when I would really rather throw my phone out the window than record another video. But that's just part of entrepreneurship and honestly, the human experience in general, right? But if you can learn to embrace content creation as the thing that fuels your entire business, the thing that makes your business profitable and allows it to exist, and when you adopt a growth mindset around content and accept that you can and will get better and faster and more skilled, it's a lot easier to show up and do what needs to be done. And take it from somebody who has been an entrepreneur since 2005, which I know, I look like I'm like 12 years old. You're like, what? How have you been doing this that long? I actually turned 38 this year, started my first business as a senior in high school. Creating content is so much better than what we used to have to do to get our business and our brand out to ideal clients. Like, I'm talking, I used to have to go to multiple networking meetings every single week. Cold outreach, like going door to door to businesses, making cold calls to the tune of 80 to 100 calls a day, putting flyers on cars and in public places, hosting in-person presentations and workshops. The fact that you can record a 30-second video from the privacy of your own home and use it to connect with hundreds, thousands, millions of people who want to buy your stuff is something that is so mind-blowing, and we should be celebrating it. So all that being said, let's dive into how to do that, how to attract that audience of buyers with your content. First and foremost, you got to get clear on who you're trying to reach. And I know this is so boring and nobody wants to talk about it, but when I look back at my own journey, I've done over $1.8 million in sales. The only way I was able to do that is because I'm extremely clear on who I help and the problems I help that person solve. These two things must relate to what you sell. So you have what you sell, you have who you help, and then you have how you help them, and that sweet spot is in the middle, and we call that your profitable niche. Now from there, you need to tap into and leverage your own story of transformation. Why should people listen to you? Why are you qualified to help this person with that problem? And this becomes really easy when the person you're trying to help is some past version of yourself. So if you're a mom, you've got this gorgeous garden, it produces fresh produce like fruits and vegetables and herbs, you use it all in your own cooking, you never have to buy produce at the store anymore, then that would make you extremely qualified to help women who want to start their own vegetable garden in their backyard. Now, at one point, you were probably a beginner. You probably knew nothing about where to build your garden or how to create the garden beds, the type of soil to use or fertilizer, or how to separate the different plants so they don't overshadow and choke each other out, or what time of year to plant the different vegetables, or a million and one other things that go into starting and growing and maintaining a garden. But through your journey, whether it was through books, videos, probably a lot of trial and error, you figured it out. And now you can help others who are in the same boat. People who are brand new to the concept and the idea, and they want to start gardening, they want to figure out how to do it. You can help them cross that bridge from where they are right now to where they want to be. Now, on the other hand, I've always wanted to start a garden, but I kill every single houseplant that has ever entered my home. I frequently forget to water the grass in our backyard. I helped my husband start an indoor herb garden, and not a single plant survived past the first 3 weeks. Now, I am not the person you want to buy a gardening course from, or even someone you want to follow for free tips about gardening on the internet. Your audience wants to know why they should listen to you. So you better have a transformation story that tells them why. So you've got your profitable niche, you've got your hero story. Now you've got to amplify those things with your content. And this is going to look different depending on what platform you use. And I'm not going to get into all of that in this video, because instead I want to share a really timeless content principle that's going to work on any platform with any feature, no matter what the algorithms do, whether it's today or tomorrow or 5 years from now. And I can tell you, after creating content consistently on the internet for 8 years, tactics, features, platforms, they come and go. But these 4 types of content are here to stay, and as long as you're hitting these 4 types of posts every single week on at least one platform, you're golden. So first and foremost, we've got actionable content. This is content that goes beyond education and quick tips. It activates your client. It shares your unique perspective, the way you do things that gets results. It gives people a new way of thinking or a new way of taking action that they haven't tried before. So, for example, if your niche is helping beginner gardeners, generic educational content would be something like 3 tips for planting tomatoes, or how to keep plants alive in 100-degree heat. But actionable content is where you share your unique genius and experience, like the exact planting method I used to double my tomato harvest last summer, even in 100-degree heat. Why you should stop watering your garden the way you've been told, and the 5-minute daily routine I use instead that keeps my plants thriving. Do you see the difference? You're not just giving people tips. You're giving them a new way of thinking, a new way of doing, and actual steps they can take that builds that trust and authority with you by showing why your method works better than something else they've tried before. Now, next we have relatable content, which shows people you live what you teach. So for gardening, this might look like a behind-the-scenes tour of your own garden, or your Sunday meal prep featuring ingredients from your backyard, or your morning routine checking on your plants, okay? This content helps people connect with you and your way of life. They see the actual results of your methods, and they want that same lifestyle for themselves, so that type of content really stands out and makes you relatable. The third type of content is empowering. This is the kind of post that makes somebody stop scrolling and take a deep breath and say, oh my gosh, I think I can actually do this. This content is highly shareable. It makes people feel seen. It makes them feel valued because it calls to a version of themselves that they aspire to be. So sometimes it's a kick in the pants. Sometimes it's a virtual hug. Sometimes it's a laugh out loud post that makes them instantly hit the share button and send it to their best friend. It's not about calling people out. It's about calling them forward. You're shifting beliefs. You're showing them what's possible. You're helping them step into the version of themselves who actually does the thing. And here's how it might sound in the gardening niche. You don't need a huge backyard to grow your own food. You just need to stop telling yourself that you can't start with what you have. Or imagine if you stopped waiting for the perfect time and you just planted the seeds today. Where would you be 30 days from now? Or most people give up on their garden after the first failed season. What if you gave yourself permission to try again, knowing what you learned the first time? This is the content that gently but powerfully shifts your audience's mindset. It empowers them to take ownership, to make moves, and trust that they're capable of creating the results that they want with your guidance along the way. Now, finally, we've got content that's credible. This is content that creates curiosity and excitement about working with you without just shouting, hey, you should buy my thing. So in the gardening niche, that could look like sharing how your garden went from dead soil to producing $500 a month in organic produce using the process you teach. A client win, like look how Sarah harvested her first batch of cucumbers 30 days after joining my garden coaching program. Or a sneak peek inside your paid garden planner or your step-by-step course. The goal is to show people what's possible when they take that next step with you, okay? So we covered a lot today. I want to do a little recap. I want to wrap this up and give you a resource that will help you actually implement these 4 types of content and take action regardless of what platform you're using. So in order to attract an audience of people who already want to buy what you sell, you need a social media strategy that helps you stand out as the expert and authority that they're looking for. It starts by getting clear on your profitable niche. This is that sweet spot between who you help, the problems you solve, and what you sell. And then from there, you need your own story of transformation. Why are you qualified to help them? From there, once you have your niche and your story really locked in, you want to amplify them with your content strategy. And by consistently creating content that's actionable, relatable, empowering, and credible. Now, I would love if you would share which one of these areas you feel you need the most help with. Drop any questions or comments you have in the comments below. We can talk about it. I want to get you confident about moving forward. And then to help you with that, I've also created a brand new social media content plan with a recommended schedule and specific content types for each platform. It's fully updated for this year with all the recent algorithm changes. And inside, you're going to get examples of how to apply these 4 types of content to TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, along with the exact schedule I recommend so that you never have to worry about when, where, or what to post. So you can grab the guide. It's totally free at globalfreedomcommunity.com/post. I will also link it below for you. And if you missed last week's video where I broke down all 5 phases of what you need to have in place for a 7-figure personal brand, you definitely want to check that video out. Today, we did a deep dive into phase 1, which is attracting your audience of buyers. And in the next video, we're jumping into phase 2. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.